Okay, good morning, students. So we'll start our session, that is lecture number 5. I hope all are keeping fine, and I also hope that you have completed your assignment. So today is the due date where you have to complete your assignment and submit in Google Classroom. Those who have done earlier, it's fine, no problem. All right, we will start the session. By the end of this class, you will be able to describe the Zener diode and its characteristics. You'll be able to discuss Zener and its equivalent circuits and apply Zener diode in voltage regulation. So first we'll have a small recap of the previous session. So we'll solve some simple problems there just to have a recap. So I hope you are able to see the circuit there. Can you solve this and give me what is the diode current in the circuit? Simple problem. For the given circuit, a silicon diode is used in the circuit. Find the diode current. So what do you have to do there? You have to apply KVL, isn't it? Apply KVL inside the loop and arrive at the answer. So that would be the answer in your chat box, which will be the proof for your attendance. So I'm expecting answer in the chat box there. All of you. Well, how do we write the KVL there? So say going in the direction of the arrow here as indicated. Can anyone tell me? How do you write KVL here?
And we can write it as 1 kilo ohm into I is equal to 10 plus 0.6.
10 plus 0.6. Tell me,
Sorry, 0.7. 0.7.
Is it plus or minus? You apply KVL first. How do we go? Say if we are going in this direction, right? So let me call this as V first. Okay. So minus V plus I into R, right? Plus VD, I'll call this as VD or V also, no problem. V is equal to 0, isn't it? I'll repeat again. See, minus V plus I into R plus V is equal to 0. Am I right there? That is your KVL. What is KVL? Kirchhoff voltage law. The summation of all the voltage drops inside the closed loop will be equal to 0. So from that equation, write down please the equation what I just narrated there. Minus V plus I into R plus V is equal to 0. This V you can also call it as VD just to avoid confusion. Okay. So this V here it is given as 10 volts, right? So you need I there in the equation. So I will be equal to 10 minus 0.7, 0.7 because it is a silicon type of diode divided by 1K. Am I right? Good. Yeah. So I'm getting the answers there in the chat box. Fine. Good. All right. So all of you are giving the answer. Yes, that shows your attentiveness. Fine. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Yeah. Observe this question. Find the voltage VA in the circuit shown in the figure. Use simplified model or approximate model. Find voltage VA in the circuit. Recall the discussion what we had in the previous class. Find voltage VA in the circuit. Can anyone arrive and tell me what is the value? Please unmute yourself and speak. I'll not be. Yeah, Anisha, that is the right answer. Can you explain that, Anisha? That's the right answer. Can you justify and explain? Annalisa, it is correct. The answer is correct. Can you try explaining it quickly? Yeah, I'm getting the right answer. I want one of you to explain that. Why is the answer 19.7? Right, I gave the answer, need not type the answer again now. Why is the answer 19.7? Can anyone quickly explain?
Because ma'am, resistance of germanium is lesser than that of the resistance of silicon, so it chooses the path from germanium.
Correct. Yeah. So
And
when
there is
the
a drop
applied,
of 0.3 volts.
Correct, correct. So when applied voltage here is 20 volts, and you have two diodes there, silicon and germanium, as we discussed in the previous class already. So when the supply voltage crosses 0.3, then germanium first starts conducting, isn't it? So silicon diode will never get a chance to conduct. All right. So the path of the completion of the circuit will be via germanium diode. So the voltage across point A will be 20 minus 0.3, that is 19.7. Correct. Very good. So the equivalent circuit here is shown here. You have to imagine the circuit something like this. Where the silicon diode is there, it will be open circuit because it will never get turned on. Okay, quickly solve this and give me the answer. Determine the current I in the circuit. Assume the diodes to be of silicon and forward resistance of the diodes to be 0. Observe the circuit. Determine the current I in the circuit. So again, you have to apply KVL there. Consider the closed loop and apply KVL. Can anyone quickly give me the KVL equation there? Can you try quickly? You have even the DC source there, and you have resistor connected in series 2 kilo ohms and two diodes connected in parallel like this, and one more DC voltage source E2. Can anyone try applying KVL there? Okay, let's go in this direction. Okay, in this direction. Observe that which diode is forward biased and which will be conducting. Diode D1 will be forward biased, isn't it? Diode D2 is reverse biased here. If we go in this direction, current is flowing via the resistor. So D1 will be forward biased, which will be conducting, okay, and which will complete the path there. All right. Now, apply KVL. Apply KVL and tell me. If you go in this direction, complete this path and tell me the KVL. Is it minus E1 plus I into R, okay, plus VD1, I'll take it as VD1, the voltage drop across diode 1, VD1, plus E2 is equal to 0. Is it correct? Just verify, I'll repeat. Minus E1 plus I into R plus VD1 plus E2 is equal to 0. Am I right there? Are you with me? This is the equivalent circuit. Are you with me? Are you able to understand? So in the closed path, when you apply KVL, minus E1 plus I into R plus VD1 plus E2 will be equal to 0. Okay. So from that, quickly tell me what is current value there. Substitute and tell me what is the current value. Yeah, you have to do it yourself. I gave you the KVL already. You have to substitute values. All right, fine, good. Yeah, correct. So those who are not able to understand what I narrated, you can quickly copy that. So current will be 9.65 milliamps. Okay. Yeah. So that is about the recap of the previous class where we saw how to replace the diode with approximate model or piecewise linear model, right? So moving forward, today we will be discussing Zener diode. Sorry, Zener diode. So Zener diode is similar to the normal PN junction diode when it is forward biased. Okay, so Zener diode is the one. It is a PN junction diode which will behave normally similar to the normal PN junction diode when forward biased, but it can conduct or it can allow the current to flow through it when it is reverse biased. So that is the difference with normal PN junction diode and Zener diode. All right. So say the normal PN junction diode, if it is connected in reverse bias condition, you cannot use it as Zener diode. All right. So it has to be observed and understood that a Zener diode, which is specially designed highly doped PN junction diode, will act normally similar to the normal PN junction diode, okay, when it is forward biased, but it will also allow the current to flow through it, or say in other words, it will conduct in the reverse bias condition as well. One second. So the applications of Zener diode is that it is mainly used as a voltage regulator for providing stable reference voltages, say in circuits like say power supply or voltmeters or other instruments. So in this session, you will see how the Zener diode maintains a constant DC voltage across its terminals, okay, under the proper operating conditions. And you will also learn the conditions and limitations where when to use and how to use the Zener diode with the factors that affects its performance. All right. So the symbol of the Zener diode is shown here in the figure. So instead of a straight line representing the cathode, you can see the line is bent there, indicating the Z symbol. So for Zener, the symbol is shown as shown here. So the cathode line will be bent like this. So a Zener diode is a silicon PN junction device that is designed for operation in reverse breakdown region. Okay, observe what I'm saying. So this breakdown voltage of the Zener diode is set carefully, controlling the doping level during manufacturing process. So what did we say? Zener diode will operate in the reverse breakdown region. Okay, so during the manufacturing process itself, it is designed, the doping levels are designed in such a way that this particular diode will conduct, okay, or allow the current to flow through it in the reverse breakdown region. Okay, so actually there are two types of reverse breakdown. One is the avalanche breakdown, what we discussed in the previous class, and the second is Zener breakdown. Okay, first is avalanche breakdown, second is Zener breakdown. In avalanche breakdown, what happens, as we discussed in the previous class, which occurs in the normal diode in the reverse bias condition, right? So when a PN junction is reverse bias, the depletion layer becomes wider. So if this reverse bias applied to the diode is increased continually, what happens? The depletion region layer becomes wider and wider, right? And at the same time, we knew that, we understood that there will be some small amount of reverse saturation current due to minority carriers. So after certain reverse voltage across the junction, these minority carriers get sufficient kinetic energy due to the strong electric field there, right? So the free electrons with sufficient kinetic energy collide with the stationary ions in the depletion layer and knock out the free electrons, right? So these newly created free electrons again, which get this sufficient kinetic energy due to the same electric field, they again create more free electrons by collision cumulatively, right? So due to this cumulative phenomenon, we observed that a large number of free electrons are created in the depletion layer, and the diode will be conductive. Okay, so that type of breakdown, what we discussed, was avalanche breakdown. We discussed in the previous class. Okay, so one thing is to note here, the avalanche breakdown will not be quite sharp. Okay, it will be slight. There will be some slope there. Okay, whereas the breakdown due to Zener breakdown, the response, the curve, the response what we can observe will be quite sharp. So coming to the working principle of Zener diode, as a introduction, what we got there, Zener diode normally operate in reverse breakdown, okay, condition, and it operates because of the Zener breakdown. All right. So the Zener diodes with breakdown voltages less than 5 volts, okay, they will be predominantly operating in Zener breakdown. So if the breakdown voltages are greater than 5 volts, then the Zener diode will be predominantly working in avalanche breakdown. All right. So this the voltage, the breakdown voltage at which the Zener diode will operate will actually be during the manufacturing process, the doping level will be designed in such a way that the Zener diode will be operating in the Zener breakdown region. All right. So what exactly happens is, when a PN junction diode is highly doped, okay, so the concentration of impurity atoms will be high in the crystal, isn't it? When it is highly doped. So this high concentration of impurity atom causes high concentration of ions in the depletion layer. You agree with me? Okay. Hence, for the same applied reverse bias voltage, the width of the depletion layer will be thinner. I hope you're able to get my point there. Okay, in a highly doped PN junction diode, okay, there will be high concentration of impurity atoms, okay, which will cause high concentration of ions in the depletion layer, right? So the width of the depletion layer will be thinner, okay, compared to that of the normal diode. All right. So due to this thinner depletion layer, the voltage gradient or the electric field across this depletion layer will be quite high. Okay. So if this reverse voltage is increased continuously, so after a certain applied voltage, after certain reverse voltage, the electrons from the covalent bonds within the depletion region come out and make the depletion region conductive. So this phenomenon is known as, or this breakdown is known as, or is called as Zener breakdown. So the voltage at which this breakdown occurs is called Zener voltage. As I mentioned, this will be Zener voltage will be generally at the lower values of reverse voltages. Okay, typically around say 1 volt to a few volts. Okay, so if the applied reverse voltage across the diode is more than Zener diode, what happens? The diode provides a conductive path to the current through flow through it. Hence, there will be no chance for further avalanche breakdown, isn't it? Because already the diode will be conducting in the Zener breakdown region. In other words, in a simple words to say, when a Zener diode is connected across a voltage source, the voltage source, if it is more than the Zener voltage, the voltage across the Zener diode will be maintained constant, irrespective of the value of the source voltage. I hope you are getting my point. Okay. If the diode is made to conduct at the Zener voltage, Zener breakdown voltage, then irrespective of the value of the source voltage applied, the voltage across the diode, now which is conducting in the Zener breakdown, it will be maintained constant at a particular value, okay, which we call it as Zener voltage, represented as Vz, right? So that's why the main application of the Zener diode is that it is used mainly in controlling voltage in the different circuits. Now observe this breakdown characteristics as indicated in this figure there. So the key feature of the Zener diode is to have the ability to keep the reverse voltage across its terminal essentially constant, right? Now observe here from the slide there, this figure shows the reverse portion of Zener diode characteristic curve, right? So a Zener diode operating in breakdown acts as a voltage regulator because it maintains constant voltage across its terminal, right? So the voltage point at which the voltage across the Zener diode becomes stable is the Zener voltage, all right? Okay, so this point will be typically ranging from 1 volt to few hundred volts, okay? Now this reverse voltage, if it is increased, the reverse current remains small up to the knee point. Observe the curve there. Up to knee point, the current will be very small, isn't it? So this current, we call it as Zener current, which is indicated as Iz, right? So till the voltage, reverse voltage reaches this knee point, current will be very small. So as the reverse voltage is increased, reverse current also increases, okay? So the breakdown effect actually begins at this knee point, as you can observe from the characteristic there. The internal Zener resistance, which we also call it as Zener impedance, will start decreasing as the reverse current increases. Now observe here, the current is increasing, but the Zener impedance will start decreasing, right? So from the bottom of the knee, the Zener voltage, okay, actually maintains the constant voltage across its terminal. So care should be taken, or the circuit should be designed in such a way that if you are going for voltage regulation using Zener diode, okay, the current value should be maintained between these 2 points, which we call it as first one is IZK, which you can also call it as minimum Zener current, and IZM, maximum Zener current. Okay, now if observe here, if this current, if it is made less, okay, if this current is made less, then obviously the voltage also will reduce. Okay, so if the current in the circuit is made less, the voltage across the diode also will drop. Okay, so which will lose the voltage regulation part, right? This is one point to note. All right, the other point is the maximum current which the diode can withstand, or which it can maintain the maximum allowed power dissipation there. Okay, so the diode, to maintain voltage regulation, the current between these 2 points has to be maintained. That means the operation point of the diode should be within the Zener current, that is minimum Zener current and maximum Zener current. I hope you are getting my point there. So a minimum value of reverse current must be maintained in order to keep the diode in the breakdown for voltage regulation, as you can observe from the figure there. And also the maximum current, IZM, the current should not be crossing IZM, above which the diode may get damaged due to excessive power dissipation. All right, I hope you are able to relate that point for voltage regulation. So for voltage regulation, or to have constant voltage across the diode, a Zener diode across its terminals, the current in the circuit should be maintained within these two limits: minimum Zener current and maximum Zener current. All right, quickly solve this example here. There is a Zener diode that exhibits a certain change in Vz for a certain change in Iz. Vz is nothing but the Zener voltage, all right, which will be across the Zener diode, and Iz is the Zener current. Okay, so a Zener diode exhibits a certain change in Vz for certain change in Iz for a portion of linear characteristic curve between I maximum and I minimum, as illustrated in the figure here. Now, what is the Zener impedance? How do you calculate Zener impedance? Okay, Ashwija, I got the answer. Very good. You're very quick. Is only Ashwija listening? Yeah. Impedance. Yeah, you have to give your answer here in the chat box to show whether you're with me or not. I'm not going to repeat the, okay. Please give the answer in the chat box. What is the answer for this? The Zener impedance. Oh, it means you're not there or you're not listening. All right, how do we measure the impedance here? So obviously it is change in the voltage, the ratio of change in the voltage to change in current, right? So already the change in voltage, it is given as 50 millivolts, and change in current, it is given as 5 milliamps. So the ratio by using Ohm's law, simple Ohm's law, we get that the ratio of delta Vz to delta Iz will be the impedance, right? So 50 millivolts by 5 milliamps will be the answer. Yeah, quickly all came running. Huh? All right. Okay. Yeah, the answers are coming. Fine. Please don't just keep it on and move around. Be attentive there, because these points will not be repeated once you go offline. Please keep that in mind. All right. So basics are very important for further understanding of the course or the subject. All right. So coming to Zener equivalent circuit. Now the figure, as you can observe here, is the ideal model there, ideal model of the Zener diode, which operates in the reverse breakdown, and its ideal characteristic curve is shown there. So according to our discussion now, what we got, so when the reverse voltage is applied, there will be constant voltage. When the Zener reaches Zener breakdown region, it starts conducting. So when it is conducting, a constant voltage is maintained across its terminal. So that is what we have understood according to the characteristics of Zener diode, right? So this is the ideal characteristic, okay? So when a Zener diode reaches Zener breakdown, the voltage across the Zener diode will be Vz, which is Zener voltage, all right? So ideally, the equivalent model will be replacing Zener diode with a supply of, say, voltage Vz, what we call it as Vz. All right, we'll replace the Zener with the DC voltage of Vz. Okay, so in the practical model, as we observed that, since according to the practical situation, there will be some variation in the current with respect to voltage, right? So there will be actually change in the Zener current because of change in the Zener voltage. So here, as indicated here, the slope is exaggerated for illustration. Okay, you cannot expect so much of change and such a large amount of current change there. This is just for explanation and illustration. The slope is exaggerated there. All right, but you have to understand, for a small change in Vz, okay, there will be change in the Zener current. That is what is indicated. So from that, we observe there will be variation in the Zener impedance. So in the approximate model for the Zener diode, we will be replacing with the DC supply and along with the Zener impedance as shown here. So that is the point there. All right. Okay. So if that is clear, we'll move on with the Zener diode regulation part. So now, just to refresh the points, that Zener diode, as explained till now, it is a specially designed PN junction diode which operates in reverse voltage, right? So its main application is voltage regulation. Zener diode is used for voltage regulation because when the Zener diode starts conducting, when it is in reverse breakdown region, it starts conducting and it maintains a constant voltage across its terminals. Okay, so when the Zener diode is connected with its cathode terminal to the positive rail of the DC supply and anode as shown in the figure here, so then we say that the Zener diode is in the reverse bias condition, okay, and it will be operating in its breakdown condition, okay, and our resistor RS is selected to limit the maximum current flowing in the circuit, so as discussed earlier, okay, because we have to maintain the current limit there between Zener current, minimum Zener current to maximum Zener current. So in order to operate the Zener diode within those limit of the current that is allowed through the device, or current limiting resistor will be connected in series. All right. So this resistor connected in series to the Zener diode limits the current flow through the diode with the voltage source that is connected across these combination, as you can observe here. Okay, and the stabilized output voltage V out is taken across the Zener diode. All right. So generally we know that the voltage what we get here will be a constant voltage. Now observe, with no load connected to the circuit, so the load current will be 0, right? IL will be 0. And all the circuit current passes through the Zener diode, which in turn dissipates maximum power, right? So also observe here, a small value of series resistor will result in greater diode current, correct? Okay, when the load resistance is connected, and the resistance will be maximum, all right, when there is a minimum current flowing through. So the care should be taken such a way that a typical value of the series resistance should be taken so that the maximum power rating is not exceeding that is specified by the data sheets. So whenever a Zener diode is used, the data sheet should be referred to where all the specifications such as maximum power rating and the minimum Zener current allowed, all these specifications will be mentioned. With respect to that, a proper value of series resistance that has to be connected along with the Zener diode will be decided. Okay, I hope you are with me, and I hope I'm not fast, so that you are getting the points what I'm trying to convey here. If I'm fast, please stop me and let me know. Are we good? Are you with me so far?
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
Oh, yes, Ashwija.
ma'am,
Do you have anything?
till now you talked about a case where there's no, like where there's no, like external load, right?
Correct. Correct. Yeah. Go ahead. What is your question? Complete your question. You mean to say, yes, my point was, this is the condition what I discussed till now, where no load is connected. That's why this dotted line is indicated there. Okay. So this is a typical circuit where the Zener diode will be used as a voltage regulator. All right. So based on that, based on the specification that what we are talking about, the current ratings and all, based on that, the resistance value that has to be connected in series with the Zener diode should be decided, so that maximum power rating will be taken care of. And in order to make the Zener diode conduct, it should cross the minimum Zener current there, right? So based on that, RS value will be selected approximately. That was what I was saying. So one more thing you have to note here is the supply voltage, what you apply here, must be always greater than VZ. Do you agree with me?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
of you? Yeah. Okay. So VZ is the voltage range or the point at which Zener diode reaches Zener breakdown, isn't it? So the applied voltage should be always greater than this VZ in order to make the Zener diode conduct. Okay, so that point also should be understood or clearly noted. Now let us see how this voltage regulation actually happens here. As indicated, the points what I explained is shown or illustrated in this figure there. So as the input voltage increases, the output voltage remains constant. Now observe here, the output voltage using this voltmeter is measured across the Zener diode. All right, this is your supply, DC supply, what you're supplying, and this is the ammeter where you're measuring the current. All right, so which will be connected generally in series, right? So if this Vin is greater than Vz, okay, Vz is the Zener voltage at which Zener will enter the Zener breakdown region and it will start conducting. Please note the points there. Okay, when Vin is greater than Vz, all right, a constant voltage will be seen across the terminals of the Zener diode. So there will be constant voltage, Vz, right? So now, if the input voltage increases, obviously current also will increase, right? So the current in the circuit, current via the Zener diode will also increase, but the voltage across the Zener diode will be Vz plus delta Vz. So this delta Vz will be because of the variation of the input voltage, right? Yeah. Are you with me? Understanding? All right. So this difference will find out and will observe in the following problem or the example what we'll get now. All right. And the other point is, if the input voltage decreases, obviously the current in the circuit will also decrease, but the voltage across the Zener diode will be still maintained constant. But constant in the sense there will be slight variation, which we call it as delta Vz. Okay, so this variation, as the input voltage vary, the voltage across the Zener diode will be varying between Vz plus delta Vz and Vz minus delta Vz. All right. In other words, the voltage across Zener diode will be Vz plus or minus delta Vz. So this delta Vz will be because of the variation in the input voltage. I hope you're with me, and this will be quite clear as we solve the example here. Now observe this. To illustrate the regulation part there, consider this ideal model of IN4740A Zener diode as indicated in the circuit here, and ignore the Zener resistance for now, okay? And assume that the absolute lowest current that will maintain regulation is specified there from the data sheet for this particular Zener diode, and say it is given as 0.25 milliamps. What is this 0.25 milliamps? It is the minimum Zener current, right? Please note down things. Assuming that the lowest current value that will maintain regulation is already specified for the particular Zener diode. So this 0.25 milliamps is the minimum Zener current. Okay, and the circuit is as shown here. Your Vin is there, which is varying. All right, there is a series resistance connected, which is of 220 ohms. And according to the circuit, it shows that the voltage across the Zener diode is 10 volts. All right. Now, assume that the maximum Zener current is not specified. Okay, is not given in the data sheet, but the power specification is mentioned. All right. So power dissipation, if it is given as 1 watt, all right, we know that from the equation, simple equation P is equal to VI, we can measure the maximum Zener current. Maximum Zener current, we can take it as power dissipation by Vz. Vz is the voltage across the Zener diode. Please note down things. So the maximum Zener current can be calculated as the ratio of PD by Vz. PD, which will be given in the data sheets or in the problem, generally it will be given. Okay, if it is, say, if it is 1 watt, okay, 1 watt by 10 volts will give us 100 milliamps. So this is our maximum Zener current. Are you with me? Are you with me so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Only Ashwija will be attentive. Yeah, editor. Yeah, thank you. Okay, fine. So now consider that circuit. Apply KVL here. Apply KVL. Go in this direction. Apply KVL. Minus Vin plus I into R, or you can also take it as VR plus Vz is equal to 0. Am I right? Note down. Note down. I've already given there on the slide. Minus Vin plus VR plus Vz is equal to 0. Okay. So from that, we can calculate what is the minimum voltage that can be applied and what is the maximum voltage that can be applied to the circuit, so that the Zener diode will maintain constant output voltage. Okay. So that is what we are trying to understand there, voltage regulation part. All right. So now from this KVL, okay, for minimum Zener current, calculate the voltage across the resistor, call it as VR for minimum Zener current. Minimum Zener current is already given as 0.25 milliamps, all right, into the resistance value 220 ohms. So this will be your minimum, that is voltage across the resistor, which is given by 55 millivolts for minimum current, all right. So from the equation, from the KVL, we got that Vin is equal to VR plus Vz. I'll go back here. Vin is equal to VR plus Vz. Are you with me? So from that, Vin minimum, that is a minimum voltage that can be applied according to the minimum Zener current. Okay. So it can be given as VR plus Vz. Please be with me, copy the things and understand parallelly. Okay, so VR just now we calculated, it is 55 millivolts plus Vz is already given, it is 10 volts. It is already given there across Zener diode 10 volts. That is our Vz. So this is the value 10.055 volts. is minimum voltage, minimum V in. Okay. For maximum Zener current, we calculated IZM, maximum Zener current. I'll go back to the slide. Okay, here we calculated it as 100 milliamps. Come back here. So for the voltage across the resistor for maximum Zener current, okay, we'll go back to the circuit there. All right, the maximum voltage across this, when the current through the diode, if it is maximum, that is the meaning there. So the voltage across the resistor will be equal to IZM into R. So 100 milliamps into 220 ohms. That will give us 22 volts. So I in maximum, that is the maximum range of voltage that can be applied, is 22 plus 10 volts. That is 32 volts. So this indicates that the Zener diode can ideally regulate an input voltage from 10.055 volts to 32 volts. So if you give the voltage range between 10.05 volts to 32 volts, all right, so the voltage that can be maintained across the Zener diode will be 10. So the voltage regulation of 10 volts, the range of input voltage that can be applied will be between these two, these two values, 10.055 volts to 32 volts. That is the meaning. I hope you are with me. Just pause a bit and try to understand. Try to understand the working there, voltage regulation part. If you are able to follow that, we will proceed. Are you with me? You are able to understand that? Let me summarize. So what was asked was, for the circuit shown here, and as indicated by the circuit, the voltage across Zener diode given by VZ is equal to 10 volts. So according to this circuit, what can be the range of voltage that can be applied so that the voltage across the Zener diode can be maintained constant at 10 volts? Okay, that is what we discussed. So to do that, what did we consider? We considered the different range of currents that can be allowed in the circuit because of the Zener diode. And we have discussed till now that Zener diode, to operate it, the current via the Zener diode or in the circuit should be maintained between minimum Zener current to maximum Zener current, right? So only then the voltage regulation will happen. That is what we discussed according to this this reverse breakdown characteristics, right? So if the current is maintained within these two levels, only then the voltage regulation can take place, is what we observed from this breakdown characteristics. Okay, so based on that, in the circuit, to maintain this 10 volt regulation, we took up the two values of the current, that is minimum Zener current and maximum Zener current, and we we observed what would be the range of V in that can be applied to this particular circuit to have a constant voltage of 10 volts. Okay, so in order to maintain constant, is anyone speaking? Yes, Kate. Yeah, you have raised a hand.
Sorry, ma'am.
Is it by mistake? Okay. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, you're able to follow?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please stop me if you have any queries there. So I was just summarizing. So based on that, we found out that V in, if it is maintained between 10.055 volts to 32 volts, if we apply this V in we are able to regulate the voltage across the Zener diode of approximately 10 volts. All right. Okay, try this problem. Take this problem as say assignment. We are already crossing time. You need break as well. Take this as a assignment or homework. Bhumika, yeah, tell me. Bhumika, you have a question? Please unmute yourself and speak, Bhumika, or was it by mistake? You can speak. Or here onwards, I will ask you to keep your camera on whenever I want you to answer. So yeah, we can do that from next class onwards. I'll be calling you randomly and I'll make you keep your camera on. Based on that, your attendance will be marked. Okay? So if I see you, only then you will get the attendance. Is it fine? See, you guys give ideas to us, isn't it? Okay. Take this as homework. Please take the question there. Determine minimum and maximum input voltages that can be regulated by Zener diode shown in the circuit. So there is a series resistor connected of 100 ohms. And some points are given there. The VZ Zener voltage is given as 5.1 volts at IZ is equal to 49 milliamps and IZ minimum of 1 milliamps. And the Zener impedance is also given as 7 ohms. So determine minimum and maximum input voltages that can be regulated by the Zener diode is the question.
Should we solve them or we can tell the answer in the next class?
Yes, yes, yes. You have to tell the answer in the next class.
Okay, ma'am.
If you are ready, we can solve it right now. But I know you guys need a break. We'll stop here. I'll stop the recording.